Should you be investing in real estate out of state? Coming up. Hi everyone, this is Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy, and on this channel we give you health and wealth tips to help you be more successful. Now today I'm filming from Puerto Rico, our territory to the United States here in the Caribbean. And they have over 300 beaches here, so I wanted to show off some of the cool beaches here while I talk a little bit about real estate. One question I get often is, do you think it's a good idea to invest out of state? Now that is an excellent question. I live in California. California is the wealthiest state in the United States, and it has some of the highest per capita real estate prices in the country. So I personally like investing in California, but I live here, of course. So I talked to a few of my friends. I have one friend that invests in Texas, another one in Memphis, Tennessee, one in Detroit, one in Indiana, and they're pretty successful people here in Los Angeles, and they're looking for investments. And their rationale is that, hey, instead of buying one house in LA for $500,000, I bought 5 houses in Nashville, Tennessee for $500,000. So I got 5 properties. That's one way to look at it. But remember, in real life, it's not like Monopoly, or maybe it is. If you think about Monopoly, Broadway is where the most expensive real estate is. But that's also where the highest rents are. So I ran some numbers and I looked at what someone would get in a typical building in Los Angeles for $500,000 versus if you had 5 buildings in Texas, or depends on the city, of course, 5 properties in Tennessee, Indiana, etc. And basically the numbers I came up with, we still made more profit. There was still more cash flow just buying one property in Los Angeles or somewhere else in California. So don't look at real estate as quantity. Look at it as quality. You've probably heard that a million times. It's true. Also, the more real estate you have, the more your headaches get multiplied. So the more people you have to deal with, the more tenants you have, the more toilets get clogged, the more heaters that go out, etc., etc. So think about quality versus quantity wherever you invest. Now, you may live out of state. Not everybody lives in California. You may live somewhere else in the country. The same applies. Wherever you apply, go for quality versus quantity. Get a good property that you can afford and do the numbers and find out if it's cash flowing. That's going to be a much better investment than putting a bunch of money into different properties in an area that's maybe not as stable. Maybe there aren't as much employment opportunities. Maybe the government isn't as friendly as to landlord owners, etc., etc. So there's a lot of different variables you have to look at. But another issue is, I look at it as when I live in Los Angeles, if I want to look at the properties that I manage, or I need to go do repair, I get in a car, I drive over there, I take care of it, or I call someone to go over there and take care of it, I can go check on the work. That's a lot easier for me. It's a lot less stress. There's a lot less involved. Now I know my friend, she has property in Indiana. She tells me some horror stories. She told me that she had a heater go out, and in Indiana it snows. It gets really cold there. And basically the company that was managing the properties for her told her, hey, you know what? It's gonna cost $7,500 to fix that heater. And she thought, wow, that's a lot. I don't know if I wanna spend that much. She told them, hold off, let me do a little research, I'll get back to you. Do not do the repairs. She called them and she emailed them. They confirmed on both ends. They emailed her back, okay, we understand, let us know, etc. She called around, she had some plumbing and heating companies go out there. She found someone to fix it for $400. She was so excited. She called a property management company. She told them, hey, listen, I found this plumber. He's gonna come out and fix that heater for us for $400. And the management company turned around and told her, oh, sorry, we already fixed it. And she said, why would you do that? We already agreed you're gonna wait. I told you not to do it. And they said, yeah, we had to take an executive decision. We decided it was best if we went ahead and fixed it because we wanted to rent the unit out, and it was early. Now, it was empty. I mean, it had only been empty for like a couple weeks, so it wasn't like this huge rush. And she was only making like $200 profit a month. So you can imagine what paying $7,500 did to her. That wiped out her profit for like 3 or 4 years on that property. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. When you're working out of state, you're gonna have to depend a lot on property management companies. Now, not all of them are bad, but you definitely wanna get referrals and you wanna screen them, because that's where you can lose a lot of money. The upfront cost of a management company is low. Usually it's about 6% of your rents per month. If you're collecting $1,000 a month of rent, the management company is gonna get the rent, they're gonna manage the property for you, gonna charge you $60. Now it sounds like a really good deal, but the thing is, when you have repairs, they upcharge everything. You have a clogged toilet, they have a handyman on staff, they send him out there, he fixes it, costs them $20, they charge you $100. You need some roofing, it might have cost $500, they're gonna upcharge you, charge you $1,000 or $1,500, etc., etc. So that's where a lot of management companies make their money, they upcharge on repairs. So that's another issue that you run into. So there are definitely some benefits to investing out of state or out of wherever it is you live, because there could be some really good investment opportunities. It could be a city that's growing really quickly. The properties are pretty inexpensive. There's a lot of cash flow. Those are all really good variables, and you need to look at each of those individually, because you don't want to miss out on some opportunities. But I'm fortunate enough that I live in California. I'm in the United States. It's a pretty secure real estate market, and I try to stay local just because it's easier and it's less hassle. And also, real estate is not my core business. My core business are other things that I do, like medicine. So that's where I gain the most of my income. So I want to be able to focus more on that and focus less on having to manage buildings and having to fly out of state to go to court hearings to evict people and stuff like that. So those are all things you need to look at. And I wanted you to look up this term. It's called opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is one of the most important principles in economics. It's basically, what is your time worth? If your time is worth $200 an hour or $100 an hour, you don't want to fly on a plane for a couple hours and go to Chicago to fix up a place that a tenant trashed. No, you don't want to do that. Hire a management company. Get contractors out of state. They're going to take care of the property for you. People you can trust. Check up on them. Use Zoom. Use Skype, use FaceTime on your iPhone, use stuff like that to make sure you're keeping them honest, to make sure the charges are where they should be. Also get multiple bids on everything. So I hope that helps. And if you have any comments, please comment below and I'm happy to answer them for you. From Puerto Rico, this is AttaBoy Cowboy. Have a good day. Bye-bye.